Imagine if, right now, Native American nations were quietly taking back thousands of acres of their stolen homelands, and almost nobody was talking about it. From a sacred cliff in Virginia that was nearly turned into a golf course, to California tribes reclaiming entire valleys and forests. Welcome to Mystic Trails. A massive land-back movement is already reshaping the map of the United States. Stay with me, because by the time we reach number 1, you'll see why this isn't just about history. It's about the future of land, water, and power in America. We begin in Virginia, where the Rappahannock tribe just reclaimed a homeland they'd been separated from for more than 350 years. Picture this: Phones Cliffs. Towering white cliffs rising above the Rappahannock River, sacred to the tribe and home to one of the densest bald eagle populations on the East Coast. Developers had a different vision: luxury homes and a golf course. Instead, after years of work and quiet negotiations, the Rappahannock reclaimed over 1,400 acres of this sacred place. Land that was almost turned into a playground for the rich will now be protected and cared for by the people who have honored it for centuries. And that's just our starting point. Now we head north to upstate New York, into the homelands of the Onondaga Nation. For decades, heavy industry treated this land like a dumping ground. Toxic chemicals, poisoned water, and a lake so polluted it became a national scandal. As part of a massive cleanup settlement, Honeywell International finally had to do something they never imagined. They transferred 1,000 acres of beautiful, heavily forested land back to the Onondaga Nation. It's only a tiny fraction of the 2.5 million acres, they say, were taken through deceitful treaties. But symbolically, it's huge. The Onondaga aren't turning this land into condos or resorts. Their focus is healing, restoring the forest, cleaning the water, and rebuilding a relationship with a landscape their ancestors knew by name. And the scale keeps growing as we move west. Number 8, Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, the numbers jumped dramatically. The Osage Nation pulled off one of the biggest tribal land moves in modern history, successfully placing more than 40,000 acres into federal trust. That might sound technical, but here's why it matters. Trust status locks this land in as native land. It can't be taxed away. It can't be easily sold off. It's protected as a homeland for generations to come. At the same time, the Cherokee Nation is transforming 5 former boarding school properties into trust land as well. Think about that. Buildings where Native children were once punished for speaking their language are now being turned into places of culture, language, and education, run by their own people. Oklahoma's story shows this movement isn't just about acres. It's about turning sites of trauma into spaces of power. Next stop, Nebraska, right along the Missouri River. In July 2024, the president signed the Winnebago Land Transfer Act into law. With one stroke of a pen, about 1,600 acres of ancestral riverfront land were officially returned to the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska. This wasn't some complicated scheme or backroom deal. It was a simple admission. The land had been taken, and it was time to correct that wrong. For the Winnebago, it means more than just territory on a map. It means restored access to the river, renewed cultural practices, and a piece of their homeland finally back where it belongs. Number 6, Minnesota has become a hotspot for major land-back victories. The Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe won a key legislative fight to get state lands returned to their control. The Upper Sioux community saw about 2 square miles, former Upper Sioux Agency State Park, come back to tribal hands, 161 years after it was taken. Imagine waiting a century and a half to see a piece of your homeland finally recognized again. Then there's the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, regaining nearly 12,000 acres inside the Chippewa National Forest. Each one of these wins looks small on a map, But together they form a pattern, states, courts, and agencies slowly admitting that Native nations deserve a real say over the land that made them who they are. Up in Maine, the Penobscot Nation is quietly changing how conservation itself works. A historic deal returned 31,000 acres from the Trust for Public Land, one of the largest unrestricted land returns to a tribe in U.S. history. Unrestricted is the key word. This isn't a museum piece. The Penobscot Nation can manage it based on their own cultural values and traditional knowledge, from hunting and fishing rights to how forests are cared for. Here, conservation doesn't mean locking nature away from people. It means putting land stewardship back in the hands of the people who've been doing it the longest. We're halfway through our list, and that brings us to our trivia question for today. We've talked about some massive land transfers, but which single piece of U.S. legislation resulted in the largest return of ancestral land to indigenous people in the nation's history? Stick around to the end of the video for the answer. Number 4, Idaho. Here, we return to one of the darkest chapters in U.S. history. Wootagua, Bear River, was the site of the deadliest known massacre of Native Americans in the United States. For generations, this place was remembered mostly for its horror. In 2018, the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation bought back 350 acres of their ancestral land here. But they didn't stop at ownership. They launched a massive ecological restoration project, restoring the river, reshaping the land, and bringing back native plants and animals. They are turning a killing field into a living memorial and a living ecosystem where culture, ceremony, and nature can all recover together. Number 3, Utah. That same Shoshone-led restoration at Wootagua doesn't stop at the Idaho state line. It reaches right into Utah. By rebuilding wetlands and planting native vegetation, the project is expected to send an estimated 13,000 acre-feet of water each year into the shrinking Great Salt Lake. That's not just symbolism. That's climate resilience. That's flood control. That's saving a critical ecosystem for millions of people, birds, and animals. Here, land back isn't just about the past. It's an indigenous solution to one of the West's biggest environmental crises. Number 2, Oregon. For the first time in a century, the Klamath River in Oregon is flowing freely. After the world's largest dam removal project, a huge land transfer followed. The Klamath Indigenous Land Trust, created by leaders from 4 local tribes, recently purchased 10,000 acres from the utility company PacifiCorp. Dams coming down, salmon returning to spawn. And now, the land along those newly freed riverbanks is once again in indigenous hands. The message is clear. If you want healthy rivers and sustainable fisheries, put the people who have lived with them for thousands of years back in charge. And no state has embraced that idea more than our final one. Number 1, California, the epicenter of the modern land back movement. In 2024 alone, more than 2,800 acres were returned to the Shasta Indian Nation as part of the Klamath Dam Removal Project. On top of that, California's Tribal Nature-Based Solutions Program has been funding an avalanche of tribal land acquisitions. The Hoopa Valley Tribe, purchasing over 10,000 acres, the Toole River Tribe, reclaiming a massive 17,000-acre property, and dozens of other deals quietly rebuilding tribal land bases across the state California proves something powerful. When state governments, tribes, and conservation groups work together, land back can scale fast, from a few hundred acres to tens of thousands. What's happening in these 10 states isn't random. It's a movement. It's driven by tribal leadership, legal battles, nonprofit partnerships, and a growing public realization that the old way of doing things, taking land, damming every river, ignoring native voices, simply doesn't work. Now to answer our trivia question, We asked which single piece of legislation led to the largest land transfer in U.S. history. The answer is the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act of 1971, which authorized the transfer of 44 million acres of public land to Alaska Natives. If you believe these stories should be told more, the most helpful thing you can do is simple. Share this video and support the organizations and tribes leading this work. And if you want to see the other side of this story, the states Native Americans are actually leaving, watch this video next on your screen. It will completely change how you see the U.S. map. Which state on this list surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.